Well, it's about time I make another video. I've been gone for a while now. I have not been responding to emails very well. I have not been posting very much. My wife and I had a baby. That's been really fun and awesome and very busy. And I'm finally getting back into the swing of things now. And by getting back into the swing of things, I mean I'm forcing myself to work at this again, because it's pretty easy to just let it fall to the wayside. But I'm trying to keep things going. I have some updates. First update, I have a paternity leave beard. Makes me happy. But the more important updates are that, well, one of them is we are just now getting fully cast. I realize that I have one more person to cast, but I think that that'll fall into line pretty easily. But yeah, fully cast. I just have to make the announcements, which I am behind on. No big deal. The other update is, let's see, what is the other update? I am shrinking down the production for September. So something I was talking about was filming the entire pilot in September. I've done hour-long productions before, and I just thought it would be easy to throw together another hour-long production. But as I thought about it, and as I talked with the actors, and the actor Gabriel Wise, who's playing Avocrinus, deserves a lot of credit for this. He and I talked about how patience will result in a more valuable product and result, you know, a higher quality and product. And so I have thought about it, and I agree, and I think we're gonna reduce it down. We're gonna do a little bit of the beginning, well, most of the beginning, and then a few scenes later in the pilot, so that we can either send those out to like Angel Studios or something as a torch, see if we can get some attention there and maybe start making the show that way, or using it for a way to get crowdfunding, like get some attention and crowdfund. That said, I've been thinking about how much to spend on this short little short film, essentially like concept film for the pilot. And what I've decided is that we should shoot for $10,000, which is just a young, dumb, broke kid. That's a lot of money. But in the world of filmmaking and even in short films, it's not a lot of money. So I'm going to, I think I've determined that we will do Kickstarter and kind of just, you know, use the power of social media and emailing people I know and that sort of thing. Because what I realized is that I just need 1,000 people who are willing to give me $10. And I think I know that many people who are willing to give me $10. And that, you know, and the actors. And even if I don't know 1,000 people who are willing to give me $10, I may know 100 people who are willing to give me $100. Maybe, you know. Anyway, my point is I think that creating some incentives and, you know, presenting the pilot in a good way can get some attention. We can raise some money to actually do a good job with this short version, and primarily pay the actors, because that is, I want to pay everybody on this film. And so I'll put that in like the Kickstarter video or whatever we end up doing. Another big update is we have a composer, and he has been cooking. The composer is Isaac Sumner. He's a local composer, a bit of an up-and-comer, and I'm really glad that I ran into him when I did, because I can tell that later down the line he's going to be more expensive, so hopefully he and I can just grow together. He has been making a beautiful, beautiful score. Just sort of, he's building a library to pull from for this, and that's going to be, that, I mean, I'm very excited to reveal that. I'm prepping to do a, what would you call it? A composer announcement on Instagram where I show a little bit of his music and announce that he's the one composing for this film. I mean, I guess I'm doing it here, but maybe before I post this video, I'll post the announcement. We'll find out. I think that those are the big updates. It's been moving along. I've got cast, I've got crew, I've got a better idea of what I'm doing. Next month, well, in July, we will be getting together to do a first table read, and that's been a stress point for me because I hate asking people to do stuff. I don't know why. I don't know why that's a part of how I work, but I don't like it. On my first film, Phoebus, it took me forever after winter break to ask the main actors if they wanted to start making the movie, and they were eagerly awaiting me to ask them. So, yeah, I've kind of got something funny where I feel like a burden on other people when I'm doing film projects. So, you know, something that I kind of this isn't an update, but it's something I kind of wanted to talk about at some point, because I think it could be good, you know, as a creator, as a creative, to kind of, I don't know, talk about. Something well, where to start? I am very anxious about this project. It will keep me up at night sometimes. Not really, I sleep fine now. It's the baby that keeps me up at night. I'm very anxious about this project. I'm very worried about it failing and crashing and burning, and then all the actors hating me, and all the crew hating me, and everyone in the world hating me, and working the rest of my life at a job that I don't like, and that's my miserable existence. That's how I envision this going. So I kind of wanted to talk about that, because I think that might be more common than we realize, that when creative people, when they are trying to do something they love, they just are afraid. And it's something that I have seen when I've watched behind the scenes little interviews and stuff. One of my favorites is Alfred Molina, who played Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man, and he also played a small role in Raiders of the Lost Ark. He was talking about working on Raiders of the Lost Ark, and he sat down with Steven Spielberg and Harrison Ford for lunch.
Now, I was just, you know, they invited me. I would never have sat with them. You know, they said, hey, Alfred, come and join us. I was like thrilled. I was like, kind of, you know, sitting between these two icons. And at one point, I heard Steven say, because we only had there was only about another week to go. We were going to shoot that last week in Hawaii. And he said, I don't know what we've got here. I have no idea. Who knows? And I remember kind of going, bloody hell, that's like hearing kind of, you know, it's like hearing St. Paul say, well, I've got no idea what all this means. You know, it was an extraordinary thing to hear from this amazing director.
So it's just funny to think about someone as great as Steven Spielberg worrying about their project, and it's a relief. Something I realized, though, is that I have other stories I want to tell. I have a lot of them. I made a list the other day just because I wanted to keep track. And I looked at the list of things that I wanted to do, and I thought, well, if this fails, then I will do something else. I will start again. I will work on the next thing. And that's been an encouraging thought for me. Another thing that's been encouraging is I've been watching or listening to some YouTube podcast type things. And something I've heard a lot recently is that now is a great time, like now is the time where there aren't Hollywood gatekeepers, there aren't publishing gatekeepers. I mean, there still are in some ways, but you can make your own stuff and put it out there. And that's a hopeful thought. That's what I want to do. I want to build a production studio, an independent production studio. I don't know if I've said this on the internet yet, but the end goal is to have here in St. George, Utah, a film technical school that is also a production company where people can come and learn how to make movies by making movies and producing them and putting them out to the world. And I don't know if that will remain the dream. I've been thinking about how I have other interests as well. I love murder mystery dinner parties. I've written and put on a few of those. I love theater. I love acting. And I think I can do all that stuff and work towards this goal. But what the comforting thing is that if I fail at this, I will have other things I love to do. And it doesn't have to be my career. It'd be awesome if it was, but it doesn't have to be. These are, I guess, are just some random thoughts, an update, and then a little sprinkling of my personal therapy session. But I guess I just wanted to relieve myself of some stress, put out there that I am behind. I have a new baby. I went to my sister's wedding not that long ago. Like, all this stuff has been happening all around the same time, and I'm catching up, and I feel bad that I'm not emailing a lot of actors back, but it's hard to hold a baby and send emails. And I keep bringing the baby up like it's an excuse. Like, everybody in the entire world before me has done this. It's just the first time I'm doing it. So, you know, I feel like the first person to ever have a baby, which is, you know, not true. My point is that I'm not trying to use my baby as an excuse or complain about her. I'm very glad to be a father. It's something I've always wanted to be. But there is an adjustment, and it's hard to start two things at once. But I'm figuring it out. And so, yeah, I feel bad, but I feel good. I feel confident. Things are moving along. Life is good. Life is difficult. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Stay up to date on the rare updates I put out. And please, if you're interested in this project at all, please follow me on Instagram at And the Dragon Studios. And watch out for this Kickstarter, because I'm gonna need that $10. It's gonna make this thing happen. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. There she is. 16 minutes, that's not bad.